Welcome back to the Sherwood Urban Farm. In today's video, I'm going to be planting seeds for autumn and winter. I'm going to try a whole new method of planting seeds. It is something I saw online and I like it because it doesn't take up as much space in my little greenhouse, and so therefore I will be able to sow a lot of seeds in and have them in a very small area, as opposed to having those trays which I'm constantly moving about and then having to pot up and so on. So I'm hoping this is going to be very successful. Okay, so the potting mix that I'm going to use is homemade compost. It's actually already sort of turned into vermicompost. And then I am going to mix in a third coconut coir. So what I do is I buy those blocks and then I put it in a packet, and then I add water to it, and then I just leave it in the packet like that until I need it. So just going to mix that in. This is sort of a rough estimation. The reason I use this is because it just helps that I don't use as much compost, because that's quite, like, I mean, vermicompost is quite nutrient dense, and also it helps to sort of create a little bit of air, like aerate it a bit. And I don't know about, like, I'm really using it for moisture retention, because the compost can, you know, is quite good for that anyways, but it sort of lightens the mix a bit. So I just mix it in with my hand. I don't sift my compost, as you can see. I don't have time for that. But you know, if you have the vermicompost, eventually most of the stuff, except like this is a avocado seed, so that I just throw back there to the compost corner. But everything else is really so fine. If you can see that, it's like really fine. So it works very well for sowing seeds. So you must be wondering now, well, if I'm not going to use trays, then what am I going to use? We'll see. Right, that's about it. Okay. They're called, you must have seen them if you're on Instagram, you must have seen them already. They're called seed snails. So you take some plastic. I'm taking a seed bag. So take the what's it called? Tape off. Like that. Let me put my little basket on there. And my little markers. Okay, so it's a fairly thick plastic. Some people use bubble wrap. I don't have bubble wrap, so I'm going to use this. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Then I'm going to cut it into strips of about 15 centimeters. So there's my first strip. It's not very beautiful. Okay. Oh, I wonder now, my little table is really little. Maybe I'll go sideways like this. Then you take your compost and you spread it across, leaving a gap on the one side. And, you know, like, you don't put the compost all the way to the end, is what I mean. And let's see, stone. Ooh, my little table. Okay, because my table's so small, I'm just going to do it this long. Then you fold it over like this, and then tightly roll it up. Like this. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more here. Oh no, I'm not, because it pushes out. So you actually do need to not go all the way to the end either. Okay. Then I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to use packaging tape. Oh dear. Now how do I get it to not roll? Let's do that. Oh, don't you hate that? The last person who used the tape didn't fold it over. Now I've got to do this. Okay. Right. And then tape it closed. Like so. See now you've got your snail. I'm going to put it in here. I think I'll be able to fit 4 of them in here. I'm going to just push it down a little bit. Yeah, like that. Then I'm going to take, what am I going to sew? I'm going to sew some snap peas. These are actually Manchtout. Kennedy is the variety. Okay. Again, I'm going to pop them in here. So you don't have to worry about spacing. You can stick them almost like you know, like a centimeter from each other. But anyways, that's how I sew my peas. I sew them like in a row. I don't space them out. Normally, if I sew them directly, then I will just sort of make a little gutter, and then I'll just run my seeds along like that. Pea seeds want to be in about a centimeter, but I tell you, normally, except like very small seeds, everything's a centimeter for me. They say 3 times the width of the seed. I think I must just, I've got some, these are also snap peas. This is from last season. They are saved seeds. I'm just going to add them in. The problem I'm finding now is that right in the beginning I can't see where the plastic is of the first turn. I don't think it's a big deal. Okay. Push them in nicely. And push it. Actually going to squish the whole thing down like that, just to compact the soil a bit. Firm it up. Compaction always sounds bad, but it's not. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more on the top, a little bit more potting mixture, and that's it. Now it doesn't quite look like a snail's shell, because I think the next one will look better because I've added the soil on the top. Put that down. Let's try another one. Okay. So for this season, for autumn and for winter, I am going to sow snap peas, kale. I like the black Tuscan kale. I have got the chamelier. It's very big though. The leaves are very big. And I like the colouring and the patterns on the the black Tuscan kale. Do you know, and I have 5 plants that are going throughout the summer, and one can harvest throughout the summer, and they're just fine. So it's all, they actually are perennials, but then they just get quite long. So I think it's time for some fresh ones. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do, let's have a look quickly. Oh, I'm going to do Swiss chard. This is, I think that's, yeah, and I'm going to do some radish. I am still going to sow some beans because we're now in the middle of February, and I think I will still be able to get a harvest out of this. 60 days, that will make it April, I think so. Obviously more snap peas. Maybe I won't sow them right now, so that I have a succession sowing. Yeah, I'll do that. And actually I've still got, this is from last year, this is the sugar snap. That other one was Kennedy, so maybe I'll sow those. I'll leave these. This is saved from, it's just a sugar snap and Kennedy, but I couldn't. Oh, and it's another one, can't remember now what it was called, but it's like a variety of the different snappies or mange chard. So this is the bright lights. I like this one of the Swiss chard. And here's the black Tuscan kale, that one. And see, this is now also the bush bean, but I prefer this one, Star 2000. I actually don't, oh no, it's also, they both Star 2000. This was given to me. I wonder if this is, oh, it expires next year, so it's fine. Somebody gave it, you can see it's old packaging. This one expires in 2028, that's fine. And this is the Chaumelia kale. Yeah, maybe I'll sow that. I don't know. I have already, I didn't think they were going to germinate, the green feast peas. If you watch my channel, you know I'm on about how I think it's a waste of space because you get so little food from it, because you have to now first shell it, and you can't eat the shells unless you like eating grass. That's what it tastes like, grass or lucerne to me. Anyways, but I planted them in the beginning of February, and I thought they're not going to germinate, and I just stuck them straight into the bed because I just had nothing in and I needed to stick something in. There it was, and they germinated. I'm so surprised. I'll just eat them in the garden, I won't even bother. I've still got some, oh yeah, these are just seeds from what I just stuck in the garden. Oh yeah, and coriander, this is saved seed. There's some more saved seed of the beans. Not beans, peas. Oh yes, some more green feast. Also saved seed. That's what's nice about peas. You can leave a couple of pods on, and then you don't have to buy again. I think that's it. I have sown some carrots again, but then I wasn't on top of my game for watering. Anyways, but you can also sow carrots now. So that's what I'm gonna sow today. But I'm going to show you all of them. I just thought I'd quickly show you what I'm going to sow and how I'm sowing them. So I think what I'm going to do now is I will do some coriander the same way. Alright, so you want to fold it over. I don't know if you're going to see this. I'm going to lift the little table up. See, like that. You want to fold it over, and then you start to turn it in. I'll turn my little table again tightly. I don't know if you can hear my pump going for the drip. I am a little disappointed in the drip. I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, but it's not. It was the best thing since sliced bread because we were getting rain as well. So I still have to water as well with a hose, because it only waters little patches where the emitters are, and then the rest of it dries out, especially when it's been windy and hot like we've been having it. And then So you end up having to put down, like, I've seen some people with, on a meter bed, they put down 5 strips of tape. See, there you go. Now you can sort of see the snail effect there. Yeah, this one looks much better. So when I transplant them, then I'll do another video and I'll show you what they look like. But eventually what you're going to do is you unroll it, and then it's like the roots are all in everywhere and they make nice long roots. And then you just take the plant out like that, separate it from its neighbor, and then you make a hole and you stick it in the ground. Obviously they're still small when you're transplanting them, so they recover quite fine. You know, I mean, if I think about when I pot up my things, then I normally sow a whole whack into a tray, and then I prick them out, and then I pot them up. So it's going to be sort of a similar thing, except obviously they're going to be a little bit bigger than, you know, just 2 leaves. But I find normally seedlings are quite tough, and when you transplant them young enough, then they adapt very well like that. And then they also, they can find their own space in the roots. Sometimes they get, well, I get mine a bit, you know, the roots get a little bit pot bound. So that's now not going to happen with this. I'm excited because I'm sowing a lot of seeds here in this very small space. And then when I want to water it, I'm just going to fill up the little container. I'm just going to actually whack a whole lot in, because I'm going to sow some for the MPO garden that I help at, which supports Isitimbiso babies home here in Port Elizabeth. And then I'm just going to cover it. Another stone. Push it down. There we go. Happy days. So this is just a little short video on sowing in February for winter and autumn and winter gardening, and trying out this new method, which I am super excited about. If I can get a lot more plants and use a lot less space, I'm all for that. So guys, thanks for watching to the end, and I hope you have a fantastic day further, and I'll see you in the next video.